Bueno, ¿qué tal? Hoy vamos a hacer un programa diferente. Hoy estamos en la Embajada de Pakistán con la idea de conocer un poco lo que está pasando con tal vez el principal actor que hay en la región, porque ha salido mucho en los medios la cuestión esta de Afganistán. Afganistán ha acaparado los titulares de todos los diarios y eso nos está dando una visión tal vez un poco parcial, nos está faltando algo de contenido como para poder comprender exactamente qué es lo que pasa por las características propias de la región. Entonces nada mejor que venir a hablar con quien es, yo creo que seguramente el actor más influyente dentro de lo que estamos viendo en esta región, que es Pakistán. Así que nos ha tenido la amabilidad de recibirnos el embajador y vamos a comenzar a hacerle entonces una serie de preguntas para que nos ayude a comprender la situación en general. Entonces, para comenzar la entrevista, lo primero que queremos saber es entender un poco la cuestión étnica, que es central para saber cómo se mueven esos países donde a veces las fronteras no corresponden, las fronteras geográficas, con lo que realmente sucede en el interior. La etnia Pashtun, por ejemplo, sabemos que tiene presencia en Afganistán, es mayoritaria, y también lo tiene en Pakistán. El coronel Pedro Baños, un coronel español, analista político, ex jefe del ejército europeo de inteligencia, él decía que cometió un error Estados Unidos al entregarle el poder a la etnia tayika, que serían los que manejaron los sectores de inteligencia, de la política, de la defensa, de las Fuerzas Armadas, y eso ha desbalanceado internamente el poder. Entonces la idea es que usted, embajador, nos pueda empezar a comentar cómo juega esta cuestión tribal dentro de la geografía de la región y cómo afecta las relaciones entre Pakistán y Afganistán. Así que, embajador, bienvenido.
Thank you, Asia TV, for reaching me out for this interview and very informal discussion about the Afghanistan and the current situation in Afghanistan. As you asked about the ethnic composition of the region, let me tell you that definitely Pashtuns, they are divided on the two sides of the international border. A huge majority of Pashtuns live on our side of the international border in Pakistan, and it's very large number of Pashtuns also live on the international border, across the international border in Afghanistan. So Pashtuns are definitely on the two sides, but traditionally Afghanistan is a mosaic of various ethnicities, and like Tajiks are there, Uzbeks are there, Hazaras, and various other small minority groups are there, ethnic groups are there, and they have traditionally lived quite well in peace with each other. And if there is no outside interference, they had lived quite in peace. And this mosaic of or tapestry of ethnic composition, they have their own way of dealing things, they have their own structures to settle their differences. So I would not comment about the US, what they did or whether it was a mistake or not. It's the job of a historian to judge what were their mistakes or what were their successes. I would just say that Pakistan has always maintained a wonderful relations with all the ethnicities and small subnationalities in Afghanistan. Look, currently a large number of political leaders from all ethnic groups and political shades, they are currently visiting Islamabad, and they have met with the Pakistani leadership, and they have also talked among themselves. And Pakistan had also facilitated initially, to bring Talibán to the negotiating table, to the Doha process. We helped them and the international community. So we had maintained a wonderful relationship with all the ethnic groups and minorities. And you know that Pakistan and Afghanistan have traditional relationship. It's not just a by chance relationship. We have cultural relationship, we have ethnic affinities, we have religious affinities, we have same food, So, our destinies are also intertwined, interlinked. So, destiny of Pakistan and Afghanistan are quite interlinked. So, Pakistan's historical relations with Afghanistan and brotherly relations with Afghanistan is a strength for peace of the region, and I hope so that will continue to be. This is the most difficult question.
I didn't remember. ¿Cuál es la situación que tiene que ver con esta cuestión del reconocimiento del gobierno talibán? Por las relaciones que usted explicaba y bueno, por lo que nosotros conocemos, Pakistán parece emerger como el gran ganador en los sucesos de Afganistán, y India parecería también haber encontrado un obstáculo, sobre todo cuando uno ve que la India hizo oídos sordos al pedido anterior de Ashraf Ghani para que intervinieran militarmente, probablemente porque la suerte ya estaba echada y no tenía demasiado sentido intervenir en ese momento. ¿Cuál es entonces cuál es la idea que tiene, cómo cree que va a evolucionar esta situación y en qué papel también juega China como un partener importante de Pakistán?
Thank you very much. You know that the stunning pace of developments which happened in Afghanistan in the last few days or the week, so it has baffled the international community, it has baffled the intelligence community, the journalists and diplomats, and this pace of events was so fast that nobody could have ever predicted it. But we are very much satisfied in the sense that there was no major violence. Major violence was averted. There was no. So that is a wonderful thing which we noticed. You had probably asked about the role of my neighboring country. I would not like to comment on it. Let the journalists and the researchers find out what the role, what different roles have played. But one thing I would definitely say is that in Afghan peace, if we want to have a peace in Afghanistan, the international community, the journalists, the researchers and scholars like you, they should watch very carefully that there are some spoilers to war to peace. Some of the elements within Afghanistan, they are inside spoilers, and there are some spoilers outside Afghanistan. They thrive on war. They thrive on civil war in Afghanistan. So they don't like to have peace inside Afghanistan. So those spoilers must be washed properly so that the peace is brought back, and that's only thing which I can say. Let me say one more thing, that even in 2020 only, if you see, there were 870 terrorist attacks. These terrorist attacks had led lot of people, damage of life, property and everything in Pakistan. These terrorist attacks are sometimes helped and abetted by a third country. So we hope that this would finish, and the whole region would benefit from development, with peace and connectivity, and the international community will help that.
Cada vez que hay un conflicto internacional, lo que suele suceder es que los países de la región sufren las consecuencias, muchas veces son las de refugiados. Nosotros vemos mucho con lo que sucede en Europa, y esto desestabiliza y complica la situación en los países. Pakistán ha sentido el impacto de la guerra de Afganistán. Sin embargo, en los medios occidentales por lo menos no tenemos referencias sobre cuál fue ese impacto sobre Pakistán. ¿Nos puede explicar un poquito sobre esto?
Thank you very much. Pakistan shares a very long border with Afghanistan, and Pakistan has been a victim of instability in the region, and for the last more than 4 decades, Pakistan is hosting around 3 million Afghan refugees. And the help of international community for these refugees are very small. 3 million is not a small number. So we have been hosting Afghan refugees for the last 40 years or so on our soil, providing them all the facility, necessary facilities. So Pakistan has been as a neighbor, whatever we could do, we have done it. Secondly, you know, in the last 20 years, because of the terrorist attacks inside Pakistan, Pakistan has lost 70,000 people. We lost 70,000 human beings inside Pakistan due to terrorist attacks. So much terrorist attacks which we suffered. So if there is instability in our neighborhood, or if there is something wrong going on, that definitely impacts us. So at this moment, we think that Pakistan had played enough role to bring the Taliban to the Doha process, to help facilitate on various means for negotiation. And now again we see that there should be an inclusive government, there should be peace settlement, and Afghans should decide themselves about their fate and destiny. And the role of Pakistan, which has been tremendous, which has been mammoth, must be recognized by international community. Rather, there are certain vested interests which play, allegations, which throw allegations against my country, that is totally baseless. And the current events have proven that the baseless allegations against Pakistan, they were wrong. The way how the whole Afghanistan at the current moment, the historian would tell our positive role, and we request the international community to see the positive role Pakistan had played and is also playing for peace and security in the region.
Luego de 4 décadas hemos visto que básicamente la política de Occidente ha fracasado y que sobre Afganistán hay injerencia de innumerables potencias, sobre todo, bueno, específicamente podemos hablar de Estados Unidos, básicamente cargó con eso y cometió indudablemente algunos errores porque la situación se ha desmadrado de una forma que no esperaban. Entonces, mi intención es tratar de saber desde su punto de vista, que conocen los pakistaníes mucho mejor el territorio afgano, qué es lo que piensan que pudo haber fallado, en qué se produjeron los errores, y por otro lado, cómo vive el pueblo afgano la imposición de una cultura occidental que habitualmente Occidente suele llevar junto con sus tropas, valorando luego distintas formas de vivir, inclusive la propia expresión de la democracia, de acuerdo a sus propios parámetros.
So thank you very much about this very pertinent question. As you know, the Afghans are fiercely independent people. They are freedom-loving people. They don't like outside interference. They don't like outside forces meddling in their affairs. Their tradition is that they love freedom, they want to decide their own destiny. So this is one thing very important to know about Afghans, that they have never accepted outside interference or outside forces, whether it might be the colonial era when Great Britain had invaded Afghanistan but was definitely defeated. Then you see that Soviet Union was, when they invaded Afghanistan, they had troubles and they had to withdraw ultimately. So that shows that the spirit of Afghans is that they like freedom. They want their freedom to be protected by their own blood. They have protected it. So they're very sensitive about their culture, their traditions, their taboos, their food, their dress, everything. So international community is also realizing very much that this is important, that the Afghans must have the space to use their culture in their own way, but definitely everybody would like to see that all the fundamental rights, human fundamental rights and human rights are well protected in any dispensation whatsoever may be.
El gobierno depuesto solicitó en su momento ayuda internacional, y hoy estamos viendo como el ex vicepresidente Abdullah Saleh ha encabezado una rebelión en el valle del Panjir, y esto puede ser un preludio de una desestabilización de Afganistán. ¿Cómo analiza esta situación? ¿Qué posibilidades ve que haya una resistencia de los partidarios del antiguo régimen? ¿Y cómo evalúa el peligro precisamente de esa desestabilización en la región a partir de estos actores si son apoyados desde el exterior?
I would not comment about role of any country, third country, because I'm here to point out the point of view of my country. But one thing is very important for the international community to watch very carefully, that what role a country is playing, because the international community and Afghans, they all like now the peace to return and the development of the area. There is poverty there, so we would like to see that that Afghan soil is not used against any country, third country including mine, for any subversive activities or terrorist activities. So this is our common goal, and whosoever is trying to thwart that understanding, international understanding, the international community, very sensitive to all those things. They can watch very carefully, but we would urge the international community to take care of the spoilers who don't want peace and who thrive on war in Afghanistan.
Estamos viendo ya un mecanismo que es bastante habitual. Hay ONGs que empiezan a clamar por el derecho de las mujeres. Vemos algunas representantes en Occidente que acusan a los talibanes de violar los derechos humanos, y en función de eso el gobierno de Biden ha decidido bloquear los fondos de Afganistán. ¿Cómo evalúa esa situación y cuál es la injerencia de las potencias extranjeras? ¿Cuál debería ser la actitud de las potencias extranjeras dentro de Afganistán?
Thank you very much for this question, and our point of view is that there must be the behavior of all sides should be very responsible, and we should now start a new leaf. We should start a new era of development of Afghanistan and eradication of poverty from Afghanistan. And if Afghanistan is connected with the region, with Central Asia as well as with Pakistan, their neighbors, so that would bring prosperity to Afghanistan, because there are several projects like electricity project CASA 1000. There are other projects, connectivity projects with like railway project from Central Asia to Afghanistan and Pakistan. So these projects, if they continue, that those will definitely generate employment opportunities for people, and those people would then be involved in economic activities. Rather, they will be focusing for their well-being, and then stability will return. So Pakistan has from the very beginning stressed that the development agenda of Afghanistan must also be utilized. And now we would again urge all the international community and the big powers to spend all their resources for economic development and connectivity and poverty eradication from Afghanistan, and bring peace. That would bring peace, and people would enjoy prosperity, and the international community will also benefit from it.
Por último, quería preguntarle cómo analiza desde su punto de vista lo que está sucediendo en líneas generales en la región. Por un lado tenemos a China, que intenta desarrollar un corredor económico y que lo va a potenciar, por lo cual reconoce rápidamente a los talibanes y le ofrece acuerdos. Irán, que a pesar de las diferencias en su visión del Islam, entabla negociaciones. Rusia es el más renuente, tiene algunas desconfianzas, tal vez fruto del pasado, pero de todas formas no ha roto la posibilidad de tener conversaciones con las autoridades del Talibán. E inclusive Turquía en su momento, que envió, se cree, aproximadamente unos 2000 yihadistas para combatir con el gobierno afgano, hoy está recalculando su posición y hablando nuevamente de sentarse a negociar. ¿Cómo puede analizar el marco general de lo que está sucediendo y qué piensa que puede pasar de ahí en más?
Thank you very much. As you know that Pakistan has been facilitating peace in Afghanistan through different formats, and one format was the Troika format, in which USA, Russia, China and Pakistan were there also. So we want a discussion among all the major powers for bringing peace in Afghanistan, and we will continue to engage with all powers to that. But you know, all said and done, we enjoy a wonderful relationship with USA, and our Prime Minister and our government has time again said that we want to be partner in development of Afghanistan with them, and there are some good contacts with all the Western countries. In the recent days, you might have seen with my government for the development there, and you must also notice that Pakistan Embassy in Kabul is working around the clock. All the consulates are open, Pakistani consulates are open, working and issuing visas to the stranded diplomats, their families, dependents, NGOs, humanitarian workers, and patients and others. And around 3,000 visas has been issued in recent week to these people to come to Pakistan. And even, you know, 2 Argentinians, they were also helped by government has helped them, my embassy has helped them to issue them visa who were stranded in Afghanistan. So Pakistan is trying to play its due role, but all said and done, you know, Pakistan and China, they are neighbors, and we are all called all-weather friends. We have strategic relationship with China as well. So China has been providing a lot of economic projects and development projects in Pakistan. One of the projects of BRI, Belt and Road Initiative, is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And there is a port, deep sea port, Gwadar deep sea port, which is one of the deepest natural seaport of the world. If you know, peace in Afghanistan is brought, then Pakistan would consider including Afghanistan into CPEC projects as well, and in this way the whole region would prosper, and there would be connectivity and everything. And Russia is also playing a very important role. It's our neighbor. Russia knows the Afghan scenario for long, and they know. So they are also playing their role. So all the major international players, we want to engage with them for bringing peace in Afghanistan and stability in Afghanistan.
Bueno, muchas gracias, señor embajador.
Thank you.
Bueno, hasta acá llegamos con la entrevista. Después esto lo comentaremos ya en el programa habitual, y de una vez más creo que tener la voz de un protagonista directo es más que importante.
Thank you, Asia TV, for wonderful questions. And so the questions are some very difficult, but thank you.